I'm joined by Doug Brown now, former Blue Bomber and an ambassador for the Grey Cup and part of this tour. How's it been going so far?
It's been phenomenal. You know, we've been able to visit 7 different schools in Thompson since we got here. So we've been very busy, but the cup's been very well received. When he breaks it out of that box and he unveils it in front of kids, it's a pretty wondrous moment. So they get real excited, and it's been received very well.
Your story checks out. I have a nephew who was at the school that you visited first thing this morning, I think Riverside School, and he got home at lunch and he was just blown away. The Grey Cup was there, and I know the kids and the teachers were excited, and so it's super cool, I think, for the kids in Thompson to get to see that, because I mean the Grey Cup's never been here before, and it's a huge thing for our community.
Well, that's just it. You know, it shouldn't be just Winnipeg that gets to share in the revelry and the excitement and enthusiasm that surrounds the Grey Cup. I mean, the Grey Cup game will be played in Winnipeg this year, but you know, the entire province of Manitoba really supports the Blue Bombers, supports the Blue Bombers. So I think it's important that we share that cup energy and excitement with as many different communities as we can in Manitoba. So it's been really important to shop around here.
No, we really appreciated getting here, and you're exactly right. I mean, the Blue Bombers are Manitoba's team, there's no doubt about that, but at times we do feel a little isolated, and I know some of the other communities that you're going to get to
so
are
you
even
can't
a
come
little
to
more.
us, you can't come to us, we come to you. That's what this Northern Manitoba tour is all about. In advance, obviously the Grey Cup plays out November 29th, so just over a month they're going to hand this out in Winnipeg in Investors Group Field, so we want to make sure as many people in the province of Manitoba get exposed to this, get to interact with the cup, get their picture taken with it before that football team in the CFL. You know, the beautiful thing is everyone here can watch that game, and they can say, hey, I touched that cup. You know, the thing's 106 years old. Every player, every team that's ever won it is etched in, is engraved onto that cup, so it's pretty special. And now everyone here has a personal story to relate to it.
I couldn't agree more. It starts to make it really real when those kind of things happen. I know there's a few other things that are sort of happening along with this tour, the Jumpstart program and things like that. What else is all going on with part of this event?
Yeah, that's the Jumpstart in conjunction with Canadian Tire is a big one. We're also handing out sporting equipment to a number of different age athletic groups in different places. So we've been to the PAW, we've been to Flin Flon, we've been to Snow Lake, Thompson, and we leave actually tonight, catching the 5 o'clock train up to Churchill before we turn around and take it back to Winnipeg. So we're trying to, you know, in our own small way, impact people's lives in a positive way on this 1 week or 8-day tour we've had from Winnipeg.
So we're excited to have you here in Thompson, but I know they're excited to have you sort of through the north. What are some of the highlights so far that you've seen in some of the other communities?
You know, it's been how we've been received. Like the thunderous applause this Grey Cup gets when it's unveiled, the look on kids' faces when they see it, you know, taking pictures with everybody and talking to them, and you know, finding out what their Canadian football stories are and interacting with them. And you meet people that have watched you played for a long time, and you've never got a chance to thank them or show appreciation for their support, right? Because we're not up here often. So I think it's a real incredible experience. Everyone's like, thank you for coming here. We're like, well, thank you for sharing with us, right? We're the ones that benefit from this just as much as the people we interact with.
It's wonderful that you've had this chance to do this. Churchill's coming up. I mean, obviously you're looking forward to seeing some polar bears and seeing some of the people there. So have you been to Churchill before?
Never been to Churchill. I have this idea that we're going to put smear some seal fat all over that Grey Cup, and maybe we'll get one of the polar bears to carry it around for us or something, but I don't know how we're going to get it back, but we got to get a polar bear posing with that. That cup's been everywhere. I've been like in a submarine in Barbados with that cup. It's been all over the world. It's pretty incredible, so somehow we have to get a polar bear to interact with it.
If you could come back to your alumni buddies and say, you know, sure you took it in a submarine, sure you whatever, you swam with it in the pool, but I put that thing on the back of a polar bear,
yeah,
and then tracked it down again.
Yeah,
That'd be
more
huge.
like I was chased by a polar bear running away with the Grey Cup. It'd be a good story for sure.
You're a decent sized guy, but I don't like your chances against a polar bear.
Well, I'll go with the younger one, right? One of the youthful, inexperienced polar bears.
Or really old?
Yeah, yeah, really old.
One that was just sort of starting to lumber.
One that's been tranquilized for a few hours.
Thanks for coming up to Thompson, Doug. Thanks for all your years with the Blue Bombers and for the message that you're spending with a lot of the kids. Just before we wrap it up, I know that you've been at the schools talking a lot about anti-bullying and about respect and about sport and things like that. So just maybe a few final thoughts on some of the message that you're spreading to kids across our region and Manitoba.
The message I was just emphasizing was just the importance of education. And, you know, it's funny because Brett McNeil and I are two retired football players, and we both had university degrees to fall back on as athletes, and that's when you're thankful you have an education. You can lose your speed, you can lose your durability, you can lose your strength.
To a polar bear.
You can lose to a polar bear, but you don't lose your education, right? You can always have that as your basis, your foundation, and we're testaments to the fact that you can be successful after pro football. And we wanted to just stress to the kids just how important it is to take advantage of the education while it's in front of you and it's immediate, and they can always expand and grow on that, and what a vital component it is to a successful and fruitful life for them.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. It's impossible to argue with that. Doug, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. We'll see you guys soon, hopefully.